When I was younger, I was dating this girl, and one day she came over. I was home alone at the time. She comes into my room, and I have the headset on. I'm playing with my friends, I'm playing this video game with them, and she invites me to this little restaurant date. And I'll be honest, I rejected her. I told her that I was too busy with this video game. And looking back, it just seems so cringe and so wrong, but in the moment, I just couldn't see it. I built my entire life around dopamine. I used to wake up 30 minutes earlier so many days, not to get ahead of the competition, not to be productive. I would wake up at like 5 in the morning so I could fap right before school. I never knew that I was slowly ruining my life. I was slowly training my brain to need constant stimulation to the point where normal life felt so boring. It just didn't even feel like there was any worth in living it. But let's fast forward. Eventually, I started learning about dopamine. I started cutting off all my addictions like video games, junk food, scrolling, all this stuff. But I came across something that like none of the YouTubers talked about: underlying emotions. I had been meditating a lot, so I would notice anytime I felt anxious, insecure, lonely, lustful, my brain would just be telling me so much to go back to the addiction. Like, I thought dopamine fasting would actually fix my life, but I'll be honest, at first, it made life a lot harder. Like, let's say I was in my living room and I was petting my dog, right? I would randomly think about like years ago when I was getting bullied. I would think about something some dude said, and my brain would immediately start telling me to go relapse, to start scrolling again or go watch pornography again, all this stuff. And I'll be honest, bro, I am not perfect. There were a lot of times where I was laying in bed and I felt anxious, I felt lonely, and I would relapse. I would go watch the pornography again. Like, I couldn't just sit there with the thought. I just like had to escape the emotion. And I'm curious, what do you think you usually escape to when you feel these kinds of emotions? Like, what is your go-to distraction? You should just comment it down below. I actually read all my comments, and I'm just curious of what you guys think. But I'd tell myself, like, okay, this is the last time, and then I'm never doing this again. I'm gonna quit this addiction for good. And then I would go like a year without being able to quit porn. Every time I would just chase like one more hit to escape the emotion, I would be left feeling so shameful. Bro, for like weeks, I would just be sitting there so depressed and shameful because I would be thinking about like a week ago when I relapsed, and I would just feel so guilty about it. And shame is honestly why I think bad habits are way worse than you think. A lot of people like to talk about the dopamine aspect of it and all the neurological stuff, but I really think shame is one of the worst things, because if you look at the broad spectrum of emotions a human can feel, guilt and shame is easily at the bottom of all this. Like, it is the worst thing you could possibly feel as a human. So imagine younger Carson, he's just laying in his bed on his phone, and then let's say he remembers a time he got rejected in junior high. His brain is just telling him so much to go relapse, and he does. He gets this like temporary good feeling, but then after he just feels so guilty and so depressed. And I thought my problem was like a dopamine addiction, which to an extent it was a problem, but the true problem was all of these unprocessed underlying emotions. If I wanted to make like 100% progress with dopamine fasting, I needed to actually learn how to just sit with my emotions and process them instead of trying to escape them. And at first when I tried this, I'll be honest, it felt impossible. If you've heard my story before, porn addiction was easily my worst bad habit. And so what I would do is I have this rule, I call it phone is fire. So anytime I get the urge to do it, I literally act like my phone is on fire, I toss it down, and then I go walk in the other room. And I just walk around and I just think about why I'm getting the urge to relapse. Like, why is my brain trying to get me to relapse so much? Over time, this would get better though. I slowly started to relapse less, and I started to become more proud. I would like imagine waking up the next day knowing that yesterday you got the urge to relapse, but you literally just threw your phone down, you walked in the other room, and you didn't do it, you didn't give in. I just felt so proud, I felt so happy. I would record YouTube videos, I would be talking about like dopamine detoxing, and I would just be like, guys, it's working, I feel so happy. It was just awesome. It's like I wanted to share with the whole world what this felt like. But I didn't know at the time that dopamine wasn't the main problem. Like, dopamine detoxing and dopamine fasting doesn't fix you, it just exposes what you've been running from this whole time. Like, if you're anything like me, all these underlying emotions we have affect us way worse than most people. If you're anything like me, like you've been bullied in the past, you're just really insecure, maybe you've been abused by your parents, we have so many built up emotions that we just haven't even processed, and it causes us to just keep doing all these bad habits. So here's what I want you to try. One day, if you get the urge to relapse on whatever your bad addiction is, just go into another room. And if it's like something to do with your phone, like a technology addiction, pornography, scrolling, whatever, do the rule I said, like phone is fire. Literally acts like your phone is on fire. You throw it down, you walk in the other room, right? And I want you to just watch your brain from a distance. Like, imagine it is another person. It is trying to convince you so much to relapse. And bro, your brain is so smart. It's so manipulative. It'll be like, bro, this isn't even bad. It's not as bad as you think. Everyone does it. Okay, the last time, and then I'm never doing it again. It will convince you so good. It has convinced you to do this like hundreds of times. But instead of actually indulging in the bad habit, just this one time, experiment with this. Try and sit there and really think about what emotion you're trying to escape from. So for example, a lot of times when I feel anxious, I'll literally throw my phone down, I'll go outside, and there's this little swing set we have, and I will just sit on it and I will just watch the trees. And sometimes it would be like 5 minutes of me sitting outside, sometimes it would be 20 minutes, and I will just really try to process the emotion I'm trying to escape from. Like, why do I feel this way? Most people aren't willing to do that much work to actually feel happy with themselves. It's like they kind of know that they have all these underlying emotions, but they would rather escape them. They would rather just be the average kind of person. But if you're watching this, dude, we obviously know that you're one of like the top 1% of guys who actually like don't even want to be average. And life feels so weird when you actually do that experiment and you kind of just watch your brain from a distance. You're seeing all the emotions it's trying to escape from, all the things of the past it is trying to bring up, like when you got bullied or you got rejected or that one time you felt insecure, that one embarrassing moment, all this stuff. It's so interesting because you convinced yourself that this was normal. This is just how your life was. But just sitting there with the emotion, the thought, whatever, that's how you heal. Over time, when you do that over and over, you start to relapse less and less, and you become more proud, more happy with, how you're doing. Like I said earlier, you can literally wake up the next day and think about yesterday, how you got the urge to relapse. It's totally normal, right? You got the urge to escape whatever the emotion is, your anxiety, but you didn't do it. You sat with the emotion and you just feel so proud of your past self. And honestly, that feeling is just so amazing. Being able to look at your past self and be so grateful that he actually put in the work. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it is escaping from your emotions is what makes you feel stuck. But actually facing them and processing them and just sitting with them is actually how you heal with them. But if you're related to my story and you're actually struggling with this, you can work with me directly, top link in the description. You can get access to like my personalized advice for your specific situation. But other than that, bro, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.